today, guys, we were looking at a scenario where Turkey forms an empire. Yes, Turkey will be forming an empire today. So the first targets obviously will be Cyprus, which would surrender quickly without much of a fight. So with Cyprus taking over, they would now proceed to invade Greece, with some troops crossing the border into Greece, but not much, and they're not able to take that much land. And the darkness means how much more they control, so it's full darkness, that means they control the entire thing. Guys, just saying. Now with a considerable amount of land taken, the progress would be sped up with the landing of troops in this area right here, which would quickly spread, cutting off this area, which would be forced to surrender, to completely surrender. So now Greece would surrender, because for obvious reasons. They're literally losing a war that they're not gonna win. They're not gonna win this war. You just gotta admit that they're not gonna win. So now, with the entirety of Greece under their control, Turkey is much stronger. Like, it's a much stronger nation now. So there we go. The second pretty big target is Syria, so they declare war. And troops would begin marching in, creating a big gap in the border, and they would take over all the land, which would force this area of Syria to surrender. And so now it is quite easy for Turkish troops to keep pushing and taking over large amounts of Syria without any resistance, or just simply not much. So now the troops advancing deeply into Syria. Syria would surrender without really no resistance. They're completely annexed by Turkey. So now Turkey is very strong, but now they're even stronger when they invade Georgia, and us declaring war. Troops would cross the border, cutting off Georgia, which would quickly force the relatively small country to the eastern part of the relatively small country to surrender. And now even more encirclements would cause much of the Georgian army to surrender. And now Georgia completely surrenders and gets annexed. Now they will declare war on Armenia, and they will be supported by Azerbaijan, who would actually unite with Turkey. So now, but troops on each side would begin advancing. So like I said, each side will begin advancing, with Turkish and Azerbaijani troops cutting them off and forcing Armenia to surrender. And like I said, they're united right now. Bigger targets, and well, not really bigger. And now they declare war on all three of the Balkan nations. So yeah, these countries would declare war in a coalition. But it's obvious who's stronger as Turkish troops advance in all the countries, cutting all of them off at one point. and forcing all these cut-off lands to surrender. And some of these are actually really big lands, like the Bulgarian land, but the other ones is quite small. The coalition would mobilize their troops and would slow down the invasion, but North Macedonia is taken, and troops from North Macedonia will cross over and cut off this land. But they are temporarily held, like, yeah, it's temporarily, because, you know, temporarily. And then they are pushed out again, but they just come back even stronger, buffing it up and force the area to surrender unconditionally, obviously. But while now this area of Albania would surrender, and Albania would surrender, leaving only this part of Bulgaria which would also surrender. And full annexation, even if it's not the best for their country, like stability and ethnic groups, they still would annex all of them. So most of their European parts, Kosovo would be taken over in 2 days. That's how strong they are. And Montenegro will be taken over in about a week. So yeah, but Italy, in a surprise event, Italy declares war. For some reason, either they're gonna get absolutely clapped. Like everyone knows that. Declare war, and this would basically mean all these countries would declare war. Not the best idea if you ask me, but yeah, but I think it's quite good as their troops are getting pushed back on the Romanian front, because Romania is quite strong. I would say they're quite strong. Strong enough to at least advance before, but they're on extra time, because they are going to be quickly pushed out, you might say. But all this land is cut off with more troops, with troops from Bosnia and Serbia cutting off this area, which would surrender. Yeah, that area would surrender. They advance and cut off this area of Albania, which would also quickly be pushed out and forced to surrender. But now, like I said, they're on extra time. They weren't ready for this, but yeah, they're completely pushed out of their territory, with their troops completely pushing them out, and even encircling a bunch of troops that didn't escape. So all of these lands are taken without any real remorse, I must say. Like I said, all these lands are taken, and the strength will completely overwhelm the Serbian troops, who would be slowly pushed back on all fronts, cutting the southern part of the country off, which will surrender along with Serbia. So now it's complete annexation, like I said. But Italian troops are just arriving, but they will make a difference, especially since Romania, probably the strongest Balkan nation involved, is getting completely thrashed. Bucharest and all this area around here is taken, and all the southern parts too, and this will basically make Romania surrender. It's only these three nations, and that nation is not gonna hold very long, even if it's quite strong. Within a few months, Bosnia is cut in half, and it would surrender, along with Croatia and Slovenia. So now Italy would surrender. Yeah, so somehow this Turkey has managed to take over all this land. So here are then. So yeah, it's gonna be full annexation of most of the nations, but Italy will keep the eastern parts, and the Ottomans will take Sardinia and Sicily, and parts of this peninsula over here, like up until about here, and Italy will become a puppet state. So yeah, it's revenge for all the time Italy has humiliated them in sea battles. But all the rest of the countries, yeah, they're getting fully annexed. So there's the new borders. All this land now belongs to the Ottomans, and this becomes a puppet state. But for some reason it's okay. That becomes a puppet state. Actually, no. Yeah, it becomes a puppet state. I don't really know who actually participated in the war. I just didn't show them because there was no point. It is also becoming the part of the one big puppet. So yeah, I just finished making the borders. They're not the best because something's wrong with my paint for some reason. But that doesn't matter, because we are fine. We're not, but let's not think about that. Yeah, see, it just does that for some reason. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's just do the manual paint job then. So yeah, Italy is become a full puppet, and they're probably gonna get fully annexed eventually when they become strong enough to hold all like the ethnics and rebellions that are definitely gonna spread across all the annexed and puppeted nations. So yeah, all this land goes to the Ottoman Empire. So now they are considerably strong, you could say, and now they declare war on Lebanon. What did I just do? So now, like I said, they declare war on Lebanon. Alright, so this is quick. This is quite straightforward. Within a few weeks, boom. Yeah, there you go. Full annexation of Lebanon. I'm gonna spare you the gruesome parts. Now they declare war on all of these free nations right here. This is a weird setup of nations, I can say. Or I will say. It's a weird setup. But they must do this to survive. But they're not really surviving, if you ask me. Israel is quite strong, I would say. They can beat all the Arab countries. But I mean, like Jordan, they will quickly would surrender. Well, Israel eventually. I didn't do like the month by month or whatever some people might do on their mapping videos. That's cause like I'm showing you the gruesome parts, like I said. So now they're quite strong, and now the next target is obvious. Well, maybe not obvious, but it's Iraq and Kuwait. And not Egypt, not yet, because Egypt is quite strong, and I think it has a few allies. I don't know. I'm not really the smartest, but now they were completely like a huge spearhead, annex that territory. Iraq surrenders. Yeah, they're doing blitzkrieg right now. It's quite effective. Okay, now they declare war on, like I said, Egypt. And now Libya would join aside, and Sudan, because they are going to fight, and all these nations here, because if you remember, all these nations had been taken over by the Ottomans. I think Morocco, but Morocco is definitely not going to join. Not really these countries other than here, but okay, it doesn't matter because they're still going to get thrashed, obviously. not that hard, but a bit. Like, troops come here and is captured, and the Suez area is captured and added to the new empire before it's even fully occupied. It doesn't matter. But now with that taken, it's just quite simple. Just spearhead down south and just cut off Sudanese troops all the way down here, making all this land surrender, all of that. Now Sudan will surrender along with here, and as many troops pour across, the entire army, they would just surrender. That's very unrealistic, I know. Troops advance into Tunisia. Tunisia would surrender after their main armies here are destroyed, and they're added to the empire, the Ottoman Empire. And now Algeria is very weak, super weak compared, and they have lots of troops over here, more than even there, because they know they're going to get betrayed by the African nations. And with that, boom, boom, yeah, they just surrendered. So now they will completely annex all these territories except Sudan. They gave Sudan freedom. Partial freedom, obviously. Because no way are they giving them full freedom. They're going to become a puppet state. And they're going to annex all those territories over there. And all of this territory is dead territory. It's all controlled by the Ottomans. Ottomans are not happy with them losing their empire. They decided to just take all of it back. No remorse whatsoever. So yeah. So it's not good. Basically the entirety of NATO is against them. Wait, NATO doesn't even exist. NATO doesn't even exist anymore. I'm just gonna say they don't, because if they did, then, you know, even the Ottomans who were buffs would still be dead. Dead meat. They'd still be dead meat. So yeah. So no NATO, no nothing, no alliance, no CST or whatever. Nothing. There's no alliances. Not at all. Yes, like I said, there's no real alliances other than personal ones. But they won't really act because they know they're going to get completely destroyed. Yeah. Guys, the borders are done. So I say there are no alliances, and the Ottomans are buffed for this video just for entertainment purposes. They will not be able to take out all these nations, obviously, for obvious reasons concerning some Europe and all this they took, which I just put the entirety. Even Russia would go in, So yeah. Basically, they've taken back all their former lands except down here. But Saudi Arabia, I mean, like, they're not gonna stand a chance. Not one chance. They just give them the territories. Like, give them, like, literally just these. Like, to just take it. We don't care about it. Like that. They just gave up most of their coastline. Actually, they gave up all their coastline. Like that, and like this, right? Yeah, I'm definitely fixing that. Boom, the borders are done. Oopsies, I forgot one bit. Right here. Alright guys, so that should end the video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, just like and subscribe to the channel. I think we hit 30 subscribers before the end of the year, or before the end of 2022. So thank you guys for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next video.